Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Are you not entertained? Have you heard what's happened, or am I the first to let you know what's happened? Because it is ridiculous. And look, sometimes it's hard to believe that real life is actually real life here. But let me just tell you right here at the outset exactly what went down. At either 3:10 or 3:11 p.m. Central Time today, the official SECX account, formerly Twitter, put out a tweet that spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved. I'm going to show it to you. Shortly after this, Gary Gensler put out a tweet indicating that the official SEC account on X was compromised, meaning it was hacked. Markets went wild. And it does appear that it was a sell the news event, which is what in fact, it's exactly in line with what I was expecting here. So we'll talk about that as well. I'm just going to share with you some initial response for anyone curious. At the time I'm recording this, it is 4:31 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. So this happened about an hour and 20 minutes ago. I waited just a little bit before recording this video because I wanted to collect some comments from people that I knew would be chiming in on this, and oh, it's good stuff. How is this real life, man? This is crazy. Especially since, in all likelihood, the damn thing is going to be approved and it's probably going to happen tomorrow. But do we trust that? Are they going to break the news on X? What a train wreck. I love it. I am here for this. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so I got a screen grab of this thing. It's right here. This is fake. This is from, so it was 3:11 p.m. Central Time, which is my time zone, from the official SEC page. X account, rather. Today, the SEC grants approval for Bitcoin ETFs for listing on all registered national securities exchanges. The approved Bitcoin ETFs will be subject to ongoing surveillance and compliance measures to ensure continued investor protection. And then there's a quote, alleged quote, from Kim Jong Gensler, which reads as follows. Today's approval enhances market transparency and provides investors with efficient access to digital asset investments within a regulated framework. So I gotta say, it looks legit. Whoever these hackers were having a fun old time. Credit to them for at least making it look legitimate. It was totally believable. And I was sitting there. I actually the reason I came across this is I was already looking up crypto stuff. I just happened to be at the time. I went to Cointelegraph and the news popped up right away, and I was like, "Oh, this is exciting!" I clicked on it, and they had this whole story, which has since been removed. I mean, heavily modified anyway. But for posterity, I took screen grabs of it. You can see here. Shortly after the news broke, spot Bitcoin ETF secure landmark approval in the United States. And I'm not going to read the article to you, but you can pause, and if you want the video, if you want to actually read through it, I shared 5 separate screen grabs of this bad boy just for posterity, just for the sake of posterity here. But again, didn't take too long for the news come out that this was absolutely just fake. Not before causing absolute mayhem in crypto markets. And so I put out a separate post, and I wrote, I'd like to note that it was a sell the news event before it was discovered that the SECX account was hacked. And that is indeed what happened. Here you can see 24-hour chart for Bitcoin. Here's 3:10 p.m. You can see where the price of Bitcoin was, $46,899. And then it spiked up within the first several minutes or so of this news coming out to almost $48,000. We have a 24-hour high, $47,887. And then it was just immediately back down. Here you can see 3:20 p.m. It had already cratered back down 46,424, and it just kept going down after that, including as late as this is a minute before we found out that it was fake news. At 3:25 p.m., Bitcoin was down to $46,331. So it did spike up, and then it went down. For those of you that have been following me on this channel and on X, this is in line with what I said I thought was likely to happen. Always admitting, of course, I could be wrong, but I was expecting a burst to the upside and then in short order, a move to the downside. And at least in this short period of time, that does appear to be what happened. It does look like it was, it is. I don't even have to say it looks like it. It was a sell the news event in line with what I was expecting here. And here you can see the actual post from Kim Jong Gensler, 3:26 p.m. This was the first indication that this was all just a fake, that their account had been compromised, hacked. 3:26 p.m. And you can see what the market did before it was known that this was the case. And it wasn't until 3:42 p.m. Central Time that the official SEC account noted that this was hacked. So here's what Gary Gensler wrote. The SEC Twitter account was compromised and an unauthorized tweet was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded products. The SEC account, which, by the way, if it was hacked, it's interesting that they got control of it back so quickly, but reads as follows. The SEC X account was compromised and an unauthorized post was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded products. Now, after I noted that this was a Sell the News event. I posted on your screen. I posted on X. The blockchain backer wrote to me and said, "And look at Ethereum up." And I don't know why, but that is correct. You can see. Where's the timeline? So you can say, okay, so here's 3:10 p.m. A minute before the fake news came out, and Ethereum just went up. Look at this. It was heading up while Bitcoin was going down, like even at 3:25 p.m., 1 minute before Gary Gensler let the world know this was fake. Ethereum was up. Bitcoin was down. Isn't that fascinating? So I haven't had time to think through that sufficiently, so maybe somebody has some good theories on exactly what was going on there. I just haven't had time to this point. That is fascinating. And since then, even after the news broke that this was all just fake, just kept trending to the upside. Interesting, right? Here I have a post from Fox Business journalist Charles Gasparino. Breaking: securities lawyers tell Fox Business the SEC will have to investigate itself for market manipulation after moving the price of Bitcoin up and down following the hacked tweet that it had approved the first spot Bitcoin ETF and then saying it was fake. That said, for the SEC not to approve tomorrow would be unprecedented. It has never rejected ETF applications that have gone as far as these. Developing. And so this is exactly what we want, right? We want for the SEC to investigate itself for severe market manipulations, because we trust that, right? How is this real life? How the hell is this real life? What a grand old time. This is not what I was expecting today. My God. I tell you, man, 2024 has been buck wild so far. Here you have Eric Balchunas, a senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. And he was initially thinking that this actually could have been a real post that was just accidentally posted too soon. Here's what he wrote. And he was on TV talking about this. He wrote on X, though, on TV right now talking about this. And yes, I think someone prepped a planned tweet and put wrong date because the tweet would have made perfect sense tomorrow at this time. The language sounds legit SEC-ish, in my opinion, versus a crypto knucklehead pulling a prank, but I guess we'll see. Now, he could be right. I can't say for sure. But somebody pointed out the following here. So the post, the actual post, saying that there was an approved spot Bitcoin ETF, this is the page for it. You can see it's been deleted. But there is this post from somebody named Chris who wrote, Satoshi can't believe his aim. And that was 1 minute after the post was put up by the official SEC account. Now, this post here was actually liked by the SEC. I don't know if they've unliked it by now. Here, actually, I can check while I'm recording. Where's the SEC? Here's the SEC account. Let's see if it's still up there. That looks like they got rid of it. Okay. Well, I promise you it's true. I'm sure somebody has a screen grab of this. But actually, I saw one here. Where did this thing go? One sec here. So I'm looking for this tab, I think. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is the screen grab. So anyway, so this person named Chris wrote, Satoshi can't believe his aim. And then, do you really think that the official SEC account would hit like on that? Unless it's an accident? I mean, I don't think they'd intentionally do that. Which would lead one to believe that perhaps this wasn't just some sort of mistake, but maybe it was actually a hack. But again, if it's an actual hack, how did they recover their account so quickly? That's not what the norm is for situations like this. Usually takes a while. So I don't pretend to know. I'm just reporting what's happened at this point. And then this is hilarious too, and this is widely circulated now. There's a post from October 16th, 2023 from the official SEC X account. And this is so funny. They wrote, "Careful what you read on the internet. The best source of information about the SEC is the SEC." That was reposted well by a lot of people, including James Seifert, who works at Bloomberg and has been covering all the ETF silliness up to this point. And he wrote, "Should have listened to the SEC about the SEC." This is fantastic. Here you have Brad Garlinghouse, who wrote the following. 3:55 p.m. Central Time. "Days like this remind me that, number one, the SEC should be investigating itself for multiple things, and two, crypto Twitter remains undefeated in memes." And oh yes, indeed. The number of new memes that we're going to get to enjoy in the coming days, weeks, months, so on and so forth, it will be unprecedented. The ever-loving hell. Here's a post from Brian Monarch, XRP community member. He wrote, "All these crypto safety warnings from Gary Gensler, and this fool doesn't even have 2FA on the SEC X account?" That's a rather salient point. Good. I'm glad Brian pointed that out there, and he tagged me. Thank you very much for tagging me, Brian. What? How is this real life? How is this real life? Here's a post from attorney Jeremy Hogan. "I'm sorry, people. I have no idea whether the Bitcoin ETFs are approved or not at this point. I think not yet. If this is what the regulators bring to crypto, well, it's just like how crypto was before. Can we consider this the first SEC rug pull?" Yeah, why not? I don't see why not. Fox Business journalist Eleanor Terrett simply wrote, "You cannot make this S word up." Indeed. Here was attorney Bill Morgan. He said, "The whole SEC was compromised." This is him reposting Gary Gensler's post about the X account being compromised. Bill Morgan says, "The whole SEC was compromised when you were appointed chairman. So what is one account compromise? By the way, it is called X now, not Twitter." Spot on. Here you have attorney James Murphy, known as Metalawman on X. He also reposted Gary Gensler and said, "Check out the Bitcoin chart, Gary. I'm not pointing fingers, but somebody's negligence in your organization just wrecked some real-life investors. What is your plan to make them whole? I'll wait for your answer." Yeah, I don't think that he's going to make anybody whole. This is just completely absurd. So I am sitting here wondering, and I haven't had sufficient time to think through this, but I am wondering what this will mean in terms of price action when this thing, presumably anyway, does get approved tomorrow. Is anything different now? Maybe. I don't know. I need some time to think through this, and I'd love to hear additional perspective from all of you listening here. But now that the market reacted in the way that it would have naturally reacted if this actually occurred today, is that going to change anything for tomorrow? I mean, Bitcoin at the time of recording this, at least, and again, not that much time has passed, an hour and a half or so, Bitcoin price is struggling currently. But for most of that time, it's been known that that this was actually fake. It was only for the first, 15 minutes that, roughly, that it was believed to be actually true. So I don't know what that's going to mean. I don't know if this changes anything, but we're going to find out together, folks. What in the ever-loving hell? What fresh hell is this? It's just unbelievable, man. Freaking unbelievable. So we'll see. Maybe market recovers. I don't know. It's not like it went down like a crazy amount, but it was doing its thing organically from that point on anyway. So I'll just wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!